Hello and welcome. Originally this was going to be a blog entry because I want people to read my blog and I want to have really awesome blogs in addition to really awesome YouTube videos. But I put, I copied it, I pressed Control C, I highlighted it, the entire thing, and I was going to put it into my blog because I wrote it in Word. So I pressed Control C, I highlighted it, but then I exit out a word. I'm like, oh, okay. I copied it, so now I don't have to worry about it. So I didn't click save, and when I go and I press Control V, in other words paste, it vanished. And now I'm disappointed. So I said, I'm not going to write that again. It was really good though. Instead I'm going to make it into a YouTube video and hopefully do justice what my blog entry was like. So I think everybody can maybe, for those who are trying to get into dating, or maybe you're not into dating, but you're thinking about love or whatever. This could be a good video for you to watch. Even though this is about me, this could also be about you as well. So the question is, why I want to be in a romantic relationship. A friend asked me a few weeks ago why I wanted to be in a romantic relationship, and I knew the answer. And the real reason is that I want to love someone and be loved in return. Ultimately, I want to love more and more. I'll expound upon this a little bit more, but before I expound, I want to say that in the past, though, like a few years ago, I really wanted someone. I wanted a romantic relationship. Part of the reason was so that for someone that would believe in me. I wanted a cheerleader. And what I realized is that I had to become that cheerleader. That I had to believe in myself. I already did believe in myself. I've always pretty much believed in myself. But I realized that I had to, that there was something inside of me that felt out of place. So I had to really believe in myself and say, I'm going to be my own cheerleader. I'm going to be my best cheerleader. Because I wanted that, out of a relationship. Of course, I think it's something still worth having, but it doesn't concern me because I believe in myself so much. And my friend who asked me the question, part of the reason that she wants a relationship is, or when she thought about is because she wanted someone to pretty much push her outside her comfort zone, or to help her in that regard. In other words, what I'm getting at is that sometimes we want someone to fix us or to compensate areas that we feel are lacking. Ultimately, the goal is to be our best selves before we enter any relationship. I am not my best self right now. I'm constantly working on that. And that's probably, and I do admit to a degree I kind of want a romantic relationship so I can become a better person. Because sometimes I feel bad, and now I think, like there'll be times where there's like an old person walking across the street with maybe a bag of groceries, and I didn't help them, and I'm like, wow, that's really bad manners, Arman. You can't do that. And I'm becoming more aware of things that I'm doing, or maybe I'm judging someone for something that they're doing or saying, and a lot of people are very judgmental, and I need to let that go. And just respect everyone for who they are, and I do have a lot of respect for everyone, but sometimes I feel that I judge someone, I'm like, oh, that girl's a slut or something like that, and that's just wrong on my behalf. I shouldn't be judging people like that, and so I want to become a better person, and I am always striving to become a better person. So I hope the one thing that I really want out of a relationship is to not just love someone else, but to gain a deeper love for other people too, and to fall for myself as well. Ultimately though, I have to work on this now, and that's what I need to work on, because if I want that in a relationship, then that tells me that's something I need to work on myself personally. Is having more kindness for others. Opening up my heart more, because I think to an extent, when you judge someone, your heart is closed. When you, and so I'm realizing that there's parts of me that are closed, and I can't have that. That's just not awesome. And I want to be my best self. I always want to be my best self, and so ultimately what I want out of a relationship is to love someone, and hopefully they'll love me. I mean, I know that in the beginning stages, you fall in love and the other person falls in love, but later on in life, maybe the other person, like in my last relationship, they just, they don't have the same feelings for you. Hopefully that doesn't happen the next time, but I acknowledge that it can happen. Ideally the other person will love me just as much in return, but you ultimately have to, it's a decision. You have to take a risk with love. You have to decide to whether or not you're going, you have to decide to give that person all your heart, even though you risk your heart being broken. And I think it's important to really open up your heart. And of course, the more you open up your heart, the more chance there is of getting your heart broken and really falling. There's always the same level of, there's always the same amount, there's a chance for a breakup. It doesn't matter if your heart's closed or really open, but the chance of a greater fall and being hurt more happens like that, but there's also more to gain from that. So I really hope to open up my heart more, and hopefully I can work on that now before I enter a relationship, and I'm always working on that. So really, the biggest thing I want out of a relationship is to have a really big open heart, and to be my best self. And of course, the intimacy and all that, that comes with a romantic relationship, that's important too. And I really want to get to know someone, that's not me, of course. I want to really grow with someone and get to know them throughout the years, and to find out their likes and dislikes, and find out the subtleties about them, and really get to know someone like that. So that's why I want a romantic relationship. So and I think that's I think those are good reasons to want a romantic relationship. Some people, they feel insecure, they feel lonely, and I think when you're like that's not necessarily the healthiest level to enter into a romantic relationship. You have to respect yourself, and I think also when you're very lonely like that, you don't necessarily make the best choices either. So ask yourself, if you're single, why do you want a romantic relationship? In the comment box, here's my question to you, to the watchers of this video. Please comment, why do you want a romantic relationship if you're single? Why do you want one, or why do you not want a romantic relationship? If you're in a romantic relationship, tell me what is like the single most important thing from the relationship. What have you gained the most, or just anything that really stands out to you. Just put it there in the comment box. And please check out my blog and my website, empowerautismnow.com. I will have blog entries. I was planning. I usually write one blog entry a day, but today I'm done. I'm done with that. After losing it like that, no, I'm not gonna write another one today. There'll be a new one tomorrow though. And I'm also on Twitter, so you can follow me on Twitter at Arman Khodaei. So the same thing as this YouTube username, Arman Khodaei. It's spelled the same way. So if you don't know how to spell, just click on it. ARMANKHODAEI. So you go there. I'm on Twitter, and I'm posting 1 or 2 things a day on Twitter. So that is what I have to say. The question to you is, why do you want to be in a romantic relationship, or why do you not want to be in a romantic relationship? I look forward to your replies. Thank you, and have a wonderfully awesome day of awesomeness.